Good morning all. Today we will discuss about limiting depth of neutral axis. 1 minute. Limiting depth of neutral axis is the depth at which the strain in concrete and the strain in steel reaches its permissible value at the same time. So that is what the limiting depth of neutral axis says. So here limiting depth of neutral axis, or we can say maximum depth of neutral axis. So this, as you know, this is a beam cross section, for suppose, and this is where the steel is resting, area of steel, and you know the stress profile of concrete. And this is having a constant stress of 0.446 FCK, and after that it is a parabola, and this will act at a distance of 0.36 FCK. Sorry, this is the average stress XU into B, and this will act at a distance of 0.42 XU. This all we got from the stress block parameters. So this is where the total tensile force which is acting, which is 0.87 F5, is that design stress of steel. That means with taking partial safety factor for material into area of steel. And the strain diagram for this is, you know, the assumption says the strain is linear up to failure. The ultimate strain in concrete is equals to 0.0035. Well, the ultimate strain in steel, it should be more than 0.002 plus 0.87 Fy by Young's modulus of steel. So as you know from similar triangles, if you go, this angle and this angle will be same. Okay, so from here we are going to find limiting depth of neutral axis, and you need to remember the limit state design is based on principal strain theory. Principal strains theory, that means all this will be based on strains only, because we are limiting the strain in this limit state design. In working stress method we are limiting, or we are going for permissible stresses, but in limit state design we are going for permissible strains. So that is why the limit state design is following principal strain theories. Okay, see, and you know, as you know, this depth is XU, and this depth is effective depth of the beam. Then the remaining depth will be d minus XU, isn't it? So this is d minus XU, and this is XU. From similar triangles, you see the diagram, from similar triangles, tan pi on top side, that is, I can call it as a pi 1 pi 2, tan pi 1 is equals to tan pi 2, isn't it? So tan pi 1 is 0.0035, opposite side, divided by adjacent side is XU, that we can call it as a limit, because I am naming this this neutral axis depth is as a limiting depth of neutral axis. That way XU limit or XU max both are same, is equals to opposite side, this one, 0.002 plus 0.87 Fy by ES divided by d minus XU. Okay, if I rewritten this, and XU means XU limit, then if I rewritten in terms of this, I will get at the end XU limit by d is equal to 0.0035 divided by 0.0055 plus 0.87 Fy by Young's modulus of steel. So this is the formula for XU limit by d. So you see, this XU limit is based on grade of steel only, because the Young's modulus of steel is constant, which is 2 into 10 power 5 megapascal. The slope of strain curve of steel is constant, 2 into 10 power 5, irrespective of grade of steel. So XU limit is directly depends on grade of steel only. So the IS in the page number 70 of IS 456 has given directly the values of XU limit by D depends on grade of steel, that is 250, the value is 0.53 for Fe 415 steel and XU limit are maximum by D, this is 0.48 for Fe 500 steel, this is 0.46 and for 550 steel this value is 0.44. So we can directly, based on the grade of steel, you can directly take the value of XU limit by D from the IS 456 page number 70. Okay. So this is all about the limiting depth of neutral axis. This is first up. Next we will go for actual depth of neutral axis. What does it mean? What does it mean? Means for a given cross section where the neutral axis staying depends on the steel and properties, steel and concrete properties. That is for suppose they have given a section. If you want to know which one is failing, whether concrete is failing first or steel is failing first, so to know about that we need to find for a given section where the neutral axis is staying. Okay, for that, so this is the concrete and this is the stress diagram. 1 minute. Okay, so see, this is where compressive force is acting. This value is 0.36. This is average stress into XU into B. For suppose I am taking this as a neutral axis XU. We don't know that, we need to find that XU. So this is the concrete in compression, this entire green color. Okay, this tension is acting at the centroid of the steel, which is equals to force, tensile force is equal to stress into area. The stress of steel is design stress, that is 0.87 Fy into area of steel. Okay, so for this is actual depth of neutral axis. Actual depth of neutral axis. Why means to know about the type of section, we need to find actual depth of neutral axis. B is width of the section and D is the effective depth of section. Okay, at equilibrium, what is telling is total compressive force taken by concrete. Total compressive force taken by concrete is equals to total tensile force taken by steel. That means what is the total compressive force of concrete in compression zone? 0.36 FCK is the average stress into XU into width of the member. That means this entire compression member is acting on this hatched portion. This entire compressive stress is acting on this hatched portion. That's why this area is XU into width of the member. This is P. Okay, which is equal to total tensile force. Total tensile force means 0.87 Fy AST. From here I need to find the XU value. So XU is equals to 0.87 Fy AST divided by this, all will go to the denominator. So 0.36 FCK into B. So I already have XU by D, XU limit by D. So I need to compare this XU also in terms of XU by D. So I am dividing by D on both sides. So this is the formula for XU by D. This is given in page number 96 of IS 456. Neutral axis depth for the given section where the neutral axis is staying. Okay, from here what you will tell is, so up to here no doubts, right? This is called depth of neutral axis. First of all we need to know what is neutral axis. The axis which separates compression zone and tension zone in the cross section of a beam is called neutral axis. You need to remember, above the neutral axis it is one type of stress, that is compression or tension, and below the neutral axis it is tension or compression. Like opposite will be there, that zone is called neutral axis. And if you take the entire if you club all the neutral axis with respect to the centroidal axis, that is called neutral plane. Neutral plane means throughout the length of the beam, if you combine the neutral axis with respect to the centroidal axis, if you club and if you draw a line, that is called neutral plane. Like a one horizontal plane you will get. With respect to that only the beam will bend. Okay, next, lever arm. What is lever arm? Lever arm means the distance between force of action of total compressive force and total tensile force. For suppose in a stress diagram, this is neutral axis, this is where steel is acting. So this is here compression acting. So as you know, this, what is the depth of this? This is the effective depth of the beam, and this is where the total compressive force is acting. This is 0.42 XU, isn't it? So lever arm means the distance between point of application of total compressive force and total tensile force. That means this distance is called lever arm. It can be denoted with respect to Z, where Z is equals to, from the total depth we need to remove this part, that means 0.42 XU. So this is the lever arm. Okay.